I was the typical INTP when I went to university. I thought that this would change everything and that I would find people who I could talk to about things, to talk about the strange parasocial aspect. Well, when you're in university, the professors, I think, historically, would have had something to say that wasn't just a sort of PowerPoint of a dumbed-down version of whatever they're a specialist in, and them not really caring about teaching it to you, and there not being any stimulation or anything to discuss, and but I think they were also there as a sort of connection for the students, as a way of sharing ideas and of developing people, and there's just no time for that anymore because well, I guess they're overburdened in their job. Like, I don't envy them. I think also there's too many people going to university and too many stupid people as well. I mean, presumably it's different to Oxford or Cambridge, neither of which I went to, but even there, I expect that the standards are very low for what people should know and what people should be able to say, and you're not supposed to offend anybody by sort of provoking them into being more intelligent or demonstrating how badly they've understood something. You never get any feedback. You're just kind of suspended for 3 years doing nothing, or for 5 years in my case, because I kept dropping out, just because I hated it so much. But then I also hated working, so I went back to university and lived off my student loan. That's the only good thing about being a student in the UK, is that you're paid student loans, which either way I'm never going to pay back. So I've just been riding off the money. But it's a lot better than working, so I did that instead, and also because I like being in my own head and I like researching stuff and reading stuff, so it always seemed better to me to be in university and to hide from the world and not to have to be overstimulated in fake jobs. The parasocial aspect, well, I was talking about this with a friend who agreed that it's the same for him, in that sometimes you get professors at the places who are actually interesting and do interesting work. I had one such professor whose blog I really liked, and I read his blog and use him to bounce ideas off, but always at this distance, because I don't have anything of worth to say to him that should demand his time as a working professional with so many other things that are necessitated doing. I couldn't just slide into his DMs and be like, by the way, this thing that you wrote, this is my response, or this is my question, because I'm sure there are ways of doing that, but for me it was just like, I don't really have anything of worth to say. I'm just curious, and I have unformed ideas in my head that the university itself didn't have anything to give to them. So I just I read and process things and throw ideas around in a sort of idealistic, abstract way, and have a sort of affection for this guy's ideas, but I don't really. The fact that he was at my university or that I was in his class means absolutely nothing, because how can it? There's just nothing to. There's just no exchange either way. I thought university would be a great discussion. Not necessarily with the professors. For some reason, I hadn't thought about professors. I'd thought more about the other students. But even so, I have there's nothing to benefit from my university. Presumably there are universities where you make connection. Presumably there are universities for that, but mine was not really great mine was terrible for this. I remember once as well, there was a professor who I liked. I don't know why. I guess just because I found him soft. Like, that sounds like a strange thing to say, but I think more as in, like, I don't know, I like people, and I like contemplative people, and he seemed very like INFP, perhaps, very like soft and just kind of someone who was soft and kind and into academia and into literature, although his thing was different side of it to what I'm interested in. he reported me as an extremist because I got into an argument with someone in class about whether or not the British Library should be accessible for undergraduates, or certain rooms, whether they should be accessible. I think there's possibly certain collections or certain rooms. I don't actually know how this works. I'm obviously a member of the British Library just because I use it for other research purposes, but I don't actually know how it works, and it's not that great. But because it's always full of Chinese tourists, or like Chinese students, or students generally who aren't doing any work and they're like sitting around sipping Starbucks. But which is generally university as a whole. It's girls sipping Starbucks, talking shit, that's talking about things that just aren't interesting or worth time. And it's all about efficient organizing and like pink diary layouts. You know, there's no real interfacing with each other or with ideas or anything that's very interesting. And I think that, yeah, I mean, I am an INTP, so I do tend to think that I'm more intelligent than other people, and or to devalue their ideas. Like, I do have that tendency, less so than I'm making it seem. I will tend to say the most negative possibility about myself rather than give a clear picture, which then leads to a lot of people taking what I say at face value. Don't ever take what I say at face value, but understand that, you know, I'm acknowledging that not everyone is stupid and not everyone is wasting time, and actually people, even if they're wasting time and stupid, still have interesting aspects to them that are probably worth welcoming into your life. But a lot of the time as well, they will react in a very spiky and mean way towards you because you're different. You're an INTP and you just naturally think different. Like, even the way I speak is different because it's indicative of my backward thought process and my very specific focus on specific things. It's not very comfortable to be around. But yeah, there was some sort of debate about whether students should or shouldn't use the British Library, and I said, well, what's the point? We have our own library. We don't need the British Library. We don't even know what we want to research at this point, and that's true. That was true, definitely. And I don't know, I got into an argument with somebody, and I think I also said something about representation not needing to be accurate in a Disney film. I don't know, some nonsense like that. Just saying, yeah, well, it's American because it's for an American audience. It's not racism, it's marketing, or some nonsense like that. So, and it's not even the point of art anyway. But I don't know, it was some stupid, like, probably I said it in a provocative way, or maybe it was provocative and I didn't intend it to be, or maybe I did intend it to be because I was immature. Point is that the professor then decided to climb his righteousness ladder and, you know, put all his buzzwords in to be a good person, a good morally righteous person, and was speaking about me in the staff room, saying I was an extremist. I don't know if it was as straightforward as that. He probably said I was an autist or something, but which I'm not. But to change university, to transfer to a different university, so I said to him, can you be my reference, not realising that he disliked me. And then he wrote a reference, probably saying that I was a huge racist, sexist, homophobe, whatever, all the terrible things that you could be, which I'm not any of these things. I mean, I'm probably a sexist, but that's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to work and I don't want to be a man, because I feel like a man enough already. I want to feel like a woman. And I get irritated by women sometimes too. Said something and then the university phoned me and they were like, well, you know, we're a very diverse university and I've seen on your paper that you're, you know, you just have to bear in mind there's a lot of people from the local community and we're very diverse and we care about diversity here and, you know, and I was like, why am I getting this lecture? And then it occurred to me after I found out that my professor had said stuff about me being a probable extremist that that I probably wrote it in my reference saying that I hope he said I was also a genius or something like that, because that was also pretty clear compared to the rest of those people. But it was kind of strange to have someone come down on me like that, you know, guide me, show me more of things. And you know, I actually learned more from, like, I just didn't have any guidance or any anything that was, if you think someone's saying something that's harmful, like tell them and teach them and show them what to think, or not show them what to think, help them through it, talk to them. If someone's provocative and awkward like I was, communicate with them. But no, they don't. They just like to feel good about themselves and climb the ladders. And you said ladder. Climb the ladder. I mean, they're climbing ladder. It's like a fucking drama class. They don't. There's no. There's nothing really to get out of academia. It's just a way of avoiding work and then avoiding stupid people once you have graduated and got your professional qualifications. So then you can be in a workplace where you can actually have conversations with people